Recording.
Oh, thanks. All right, Barry Johnson, I'm here. Jeff Carter,
Is here.
Rick Rosner,
Here.
Richard Niederberg, not yet. Brandon Marino,
Here.
Julie Houlihan is excused, and Scott Mandel.
Present.
Thank you. Approval of November 2nd, 2022 Government Affairs Committee meeting minutes. Anybody have anything they want to change or add? If not, hearing none, I will consider them adopted. Thank you. Update by the committee chair. Just to mention, our 3 motions from November all passed the board at the November board meeting. Thank you for participating in their creation. Going on to number 4, public comments on non-agenda items within the committee's jurisdiction. Do we have any public comments? And I'll note that Richard Niederberg has joined us at 6:01. Thank you, Richard. Anybody with a public comment? Not hearing any or seeing any hands raised. Oh, number 5, so we have no responses to public comments. So I'll go on to number 6. Discussion and possible motion to reissue SCNC motion 2021.08.18.08B from the August 18th, 2021 board meeting that contained the wrong case number and missing suite letters for the address. Hopefully you all looked at the links on this. The applicant contacted us and said they were unable to go forward with what we had given them a motion on because it had the wrong case number, which is mainly the fault of the planning department, but they were also lacking the suite address, which is suite C and D. So this is merely going to go to the board to reissue with the corrected case number and complete address with the suite C and D address. Do we have any public comment on this one?
I'll second the motion.
Oh, sorry. And I have a second from Brandon. Thank you. Any, not seeing any, do we have any comments from the committee members?
Yeah, question. This is a land use thing. Is it because there's a possibility land use won't be having a meeting this month that we're doing it here and not land use?
Just that this applicant really needs this like last month and we didn't. So in an effort to get it for sure done in January and knowing that we were for sure having a meeting and not 100% that we would have land use. So yes, that would be a yes to your question. So anybody else on number 7? On number 6? Okay, we will go ahead and vote on this. All in favor, raise your hand yes or say yes.
Yes.
I'm a yes.
Carter says
Thank
yes.
you, Jeff.
Thank you.
We are unanimous. Thank you. I'll move on to number 7. Discussion and possible motion, community impact statement with respect to Council File 22-1566 for the city to adopt a climate action and adaptation plan into the city's general plan. And I have a proposed motion on this one for number 7, which could go either way, but let me read it first. The Board of the Studio City Neighborhood Council, SCNC, either will support or oppose Council File 22-1566 for the City Planning Department in consultation with the City Attorney and other departments as appropriate to report to the City Council within 60 days on the benefits of adopting a climate action and adaptation plan into the city's general plan. And do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Rick. Thank you, Rick. Do we have any public comment on this one? Go ahead, Peter.
Hi there. I just read the first part of this, and it reads like parody. So once again, the city pandering to a particular group, and sorry, it's a total joke. I just think they should stay out of this area. I could go on, but I'll get myself in trouble. Thanks.
Anyone else from the public? Okay, we'll open it to committee members, and I just want to, before I go to you, Rick, I want to say I basically agree with you, Peter, and I also, the reason I put in this motion that it could go either way is, frankly, I think the city should stay out of this. Climate change is way bigger than the city of Los Angeles, and its boundaries are not within the city of Los Angeles. So if we are going to do something like this, it probably needs to be at least on the state level, if not the federal level, if not the worldwide level for that matter. But I don't think the city has so many things that it can be doing to fix. I don't think they ought to be spending time on this that is a much bigger issue than the city. But I will go to Rick now.
So I haven't read the language. I assume that it is kind of ridiculous. At the same time, the issue isn't ridiculous in that it's a cliche to say that LA is a desert and that we wouldn't have all the greenery we have if we didn't steal the water from the rest of the state. And if LA, due to climate change becomes increasingly unpleasant to live in, then we lose the entertainment industry because people in entertainment are a bunch of spoiled babies and they'll just move north to Vancouver. And then LA will be like an also ran kind of formerly great city like Pittsburgh or Detroit. We lost aerospace, we lost the automotive we had. We've lost a lot of industry. And we're gonna have to at least make token efforts to, look like we're trying to keep LA livable, especially with the Olympics coming in 5 years, where we're gonna, it's a big chance to make LA look like it doesn't suck. So, I support these token efforts.
Just remember, the city of LA is only 40% roughly of the inhabited area of the county. So we can do all these draconian things in the city, and the polluters are surrounding us on all sides will still be doing what they're doing. Go ahead, Scott.
Thank you, Barry. I'm generally supportive of all the council motions that ask for a report back, so there is more information to then oppose it. But I kind of agree with Peter and the other comment about this reading like a parody. I mean, the motion starts off, climate change is an urgent and dangerous threat to the all people. Climate change is an urgent and dangerous threat to the all people. That's the first line of the motion. So you lost me right there as far as, and I guess this may be one of her first motions. They hit all the buttons, ban gas-powered, enforce the ban on gas-powered leaf blowers and show us you're serious. And by the way, if they're worried about pollution, I can tell you how much is going to be generated between the Harvard Westlake River Park project and the Sportsman's project. We're going to be breathing in air pollution and all kinds of construction pollution for years from those projects. So I don't want to oppose a report back, but to support this, it just reads, it's comical. Thank
He
you.
doesn't, whoever typed it obviously didn't check grammar correction on their computer.
Yes.
Anyway, that's a joke, but whoever's next, sorry.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, I agree with everything I just heard from everybody. Apparently, Katie Yaroslavsky went to the Paul Koretz School of How to Write a Motion. It's a lot of words like numerous and dangerous and increasingly frequent, long-lasting stuff that really can't be verified. The problem I have with this, yes, it's just a report, but it says at the bottom, consulting with city attorney, climate energy mobilization office, and other departments as appropriate. I want to know how much this thing's going to cost. And that should have been one of the first things they're talking about. Obviously, the report will give a kind of an idea, but with Laura Friedman hanging around and all of that talk of basically getting rid of cars and things like that, this is a potentially dangerous path. I've seen reports from the city before. They are never fully vetted out. They don't tell us everything we need to know. And the thing they usually miss out is how much it's going to cost us over many years. So I would probably oppose this because, like what Scott said, and this might be her first motion, but that's why she has a staff. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Go ahead, Richard.
Yeah, my concern is pretty simple. It puts LA City at a competitive disadvantage with the surrounding cities in LA County, all 87 of them. So I'd like to vote no on this one. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Rick.
So I'd support a motion from us saying that, climate change is a definite thing, but that this motion doesn't address it very well. And, or even strongly, that this motion sucks. So, but even though climate change is a thing. Also, like I'm writing a novel set 15 years from now. And the way it works in LA 15 years from now is rich people just throw a dome up over the places where they live and everybody else swelters.
All right.
The whole West Side gets, robotic constructors throwing up this giant, tent.
Not a bad idea.
All right, I'm actually writing something for this. I was just going to say, I think for us to have any impact on this, we have to oppose, because that's going to make it stand out, and they're going to read it. So what I'm proposing here is, when we get to the end of what I wrote, where it says into the city's general plan, I have, because such an effort goes far beyond the city of Los Angeles boundaries and should be handled on at least a statewide basis. What does everyone think?
Yeah.
So, in other words, we're not against it. We're just saying, the city has better things to do, and it's too big a thing for the city to do.
Or too non-local, too wide. Yeah.
The only issue I have with that, Barry, is sometimes we have motions where the state makes the decision for us, and we hate that. So basically this motion saying, well, except here, we're okay if the state makes the decision for us. I get
How about
that.
if we say,
I get what you're saying, but
at least a statewide voter initiative?
If it's on the ballot, yes. Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm going to say. So I say at the end of this, because such an effort goes far beyond the city of Los Angeles boundaries and should be handled on at least a statewide voter initiative.
Jeff's hand is up.
Hi, Barry.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I recognized. I think that your the first reaction is usually the best. Just oppose it. If you give a mouse a cookie, he'll want a glass of milk. And let the people figure out how they're going to do this. It's not our job to do their work for them. And of course, it's a problem. It's a problem all over the world, but we don't. That's beyond our jurisdiction, and so is the other surrounding cities and counties. So I would just, my strategic view would be simply vote no and not hedge it. And I think
But
that.
doesn't,
But
go ahead.
That's it. That's all. Thank you.
Doesn't everybody think we should let them know that this doing on a city level is too small for something like this?
Yeah, like it's got to be at least the size of an air quality management district or bigger, or a regional transportation district.
Well, I think, and by saying statewide voter initiative, that's like we're not saying let the legislature do it, because they do something just as bad as our city council, with the supermajority in both houses.
Question.
Go ahead, Jeff.
When you say voter initiative, you mean a proposition?
Yeah.
Huh? What?
Yeah,
That
statewide voter initiative.
the proposition.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's meaning a ballot initiative. Yes.
Which will bring in every. It'll confuse the matter. It will bring in all the false advertising that we see on every one of these things. Personally, I don't know why California ever decided to embark on doing those. I think they're a bad idea. So if you add that language, I'll vote against it, but I'll also vote against it if you don't add the language. So either way, but thanks.
Yeah, the thing is, we added voter initiative because you don't want to give carte blanche to the legislature. So we're saying this.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you,
I mean, the initiative process is not a perfect one, but it's better than letting our supermajority legislative houses do it. And yes, there will be commercials, both sides, you can be sure, that are, far from the truth. But I'm just saying it's bigger than the city of Los Angeles.
well, just say that. Don't go into the voter initiative. Maybe nobody down there has thought of that yet.
Okay.
I don't want to draw this out, but I just personally, I just think the legislature should do its job. If it's a lousy legislature, which some people think it is, that's not our fault. That's the people that are voting for these legislators' fault. You get what you pay for, literally. So.
Okay, how about if I say, because this issue is far larger than the city of Los Angeles?
That's.
And I could say, and should be handled at a higher level.
Well,
Just not say what that is. So just leave it as is. So I'll read it one more time. The Board of the Studio City Neighborhood Council opposes Council File 22-1566 for the City Planning Department in consultation with the City Attorney and other departments as appropriate to report to the City Council within 60 days on the benefits of adopting a climate action and adaptation plan into the city's general plan, because this issue is far larger than the City of Los Angeles.
Can it be benefits and detriments?
No, I think they'll get it by just saying this.
They don't
Jeff
get
is
much.
right.
I'll call the question.
Okay. So the final is because this issue is far larger than the City of Los Angeles. Let's go ahead and vote. All in favor, raise your hand, yes, or
Yes.
say yes. I'm a yes.
Yes.
And Richard?
This is to oppose it, right?
Yes.
Right, correct.
A yes vote means you're opposing the motion,
Yes.
opposing the council file.
Thank you. So we are unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I will move on to number 8. Discussion and possible motion, community impact statement with respect to Council File 22-1232 for amendments to the Los Angeles City Charter to make the Ethics Commission more independent, streamline and expand enforcement processes, and increase the integrity and effectiveness of the Ethics Committee. And you all have the link that has the documents of what they are recommending. And I'll read you my proposed motion. The Board of the Studio City, oh, do I have a second, by the way?
Yeah,
Oh, wait, let me read the motion first. Sorry, Richard. The motion I have is the Board of the Studio City Neighborhood Council, SCNC, supports Council File 22-1232 to request the city attorney to prepare and present the documents necessary to place a ballot measure on the next available ballot to amend the Los Angeles City Charter to make the City Ethics Commission more independent, streamline and expand enforcement processes, and increase its integrity and effectiveness. This motion is also to be submitted as a community impact statement, CIS, to CF 22-1232. Now, do I have a second?
yeah.
From Richard, thank you. Do we have any public comment? Press *9 or raise your hand. Not seeing any. I'll go on to committee comment. Go ahead, Brandon.
So if I'm reading this correctly, this will be on the April ballot, not the June ballot, for the CD6 for the CD6 election, correct?
They haven't said yet, unlike the CD6 one.
Well, I mean, my question says the next available election that will be in April for CD6. So is that going to give the public enough time to vet this? And
It's the next.
is it the next available
It's
general
the-
election or special
Okay,
election?
let's put it this way. The city attorney is not going to prepare and present the documents necessary to place it on the ballot before April. I can tell you that right now.
The
So,
city of Los Angeles never rule out anything.
well, they have to still do this work before they can present the documents necessary to place a ballot measure on the next available ballot. So the chips will fall based on how soon they get this done. It says the next available ballot, but that's contingent on being able to present completed documents necessary to do so.
My question
So,
only
yeah.
is if we vote yes on this and the language says next available ballot, are we basically playing ourselves by not saying the next primary or the next general election.
How about this next municipal election?
Yeah, well, or non-special election. Because I just think that if we say yes to this, I mean, I will like Richard or Jeff or even Scott might know more about this than I do. If we say yes to this, does that basically mean that, oh well, you like it, so we're going to shrink down public debate, public comments, and we're going to rush it out really quickly because we desperately need this? I don't want to rush anything when it comes to the city making rules. I like public debate on this. So I don't exactly know how they're going to work this, but the next available election will be April for CD6.
So I'll add it in what I will say, to place a ballot measure on the next available regularly scheduled election ballot to amend the Los Angeles City Charter.
Okay.
Okay, does that please everyone? I'll read it one more time. The Board of the Studio City Neighborhood Council supports Council File 22-1232 to request the city attorney to prepare and present the documents necessary to place a ballot measure on the next available regularly scheduled election ballot to amend the Los Angeles City Charter to make the City Ethics Committee more independent, streamline and expand enforcement processes, and increase its integrity and effectiveness. Go ahead, Scott.
Thanks, Barry. So if there's going to be an election just for CD6, I wouldn't imagine this would be on that ballot. But I mean, reading all the pages of what they're proposing, we have an ethics issue, obviously, in city government, and we have an ethics issue with the Ethics Commission itself. So it's good that they're trying to affect some change here. There's and some of the other neighborhood councils, they have a boilerplate that they all cut and pasted where they wanted to make some changes to the motion. I don't know if we really need to go there. I mean, I think it's good to support the change that they're proposing and all those fine details. We'll see what the city attorney actually works out. I mean, it's a new city attorney, and who knows when they're going to have this ready. It's just interesting that the ethics commission itself has an ethics issue as well as the city. So let's hope something good comes from this. Thanks.
Well, and thankfully, they're not the ones that are proposing the changes. It was an ad hoc committee for reform. So yeah, that can only be a good thing. Go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm reading right before the signatures. One of the bullet points is authorize the Ethics Commission to place its policy recommendations directly on the ballot and submit them to the city voters in the event that one, those recommendations are first proposed for enactment by the council, and two, the council fails to enact such recommendations within 120 days. This is dated October 18th. I will assume the city attorney has not brought forth any recommendations yet, but I don't know.
Yeah, definitely not brought forward for for a council meeting, because it would be on the council file. Yeah. Anyone else? Okay, should we vote? All right, all in favor, raise your hands, yes or say yes.
Yes.
I am a yes.
Yes, yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And Jeff?
Reluctantly, yes.
Thank you, Jeff. So we are unanimous. All right, moving on to agenda item number 9, discussion and possible motion. Community impact statement with respect to Council File 22-1146 for steps to remedy the issues that led to numerous community impact statements, CISs, not being transmitted. And I have a proposed motion for this that I will read. The Board of the Studio City Neighborhood Council, SCNC, supports Council File 22-1146 to instruct the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment, DUN, to report back in 45 days on the status of the Community Impact Statement portal, including the issues that led to numerous community impact statements not being transmitted, the length of time the errors were present in the system, the list of the city commissions that were impacted by not having the correct email configurations on the portal, the number of community impact statements that were not transmitted as intended by the neighborhood councils, and the steps that have been taken to remedy the issue and prevent this from happening again in the future. This motion is also to be submitted as a community impact statement, CIS, to CF 22-1146. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Jeff, thank you. Do we have any public comment? Any members of the public? Raise your hand or press *9. Seeing none, we'll go on to committee comments. Go ahead, Brandon.
You know, I think this is kind of hilarious. I was watching a neighborhood council meeting. I don't remember which neighborhood council, but they had their NEA showing the CIS portal, and it's kind of been revised. It's newfangled, lots of pretty colors. And they went on to Pico Union NC, and it showed no CISs reported over the past year. And I found that I know Pico Union isn't a very active neighborhood council, but I find it difficult to believe they didn't submit one CIS. And hold on. And even the NEA was having trouble trying to describe the CIS portal, which is very bureaucratic when you think about it. They're just making a lot of work, making things look pretty, a lot of busyness, but it didn't solve the problem. I was speaking to somebody during one of our movie nights, the CD4 person, and I forgot her name, but she said we were the only neighborhood council in CD4 that actually sends our CISs directly to the council person. Everybody else uses the portal. And I don't understand why neighborhood councils can't just forget the portal and send it directly to the individuals necessary to receive these, or just double it up, send it to the person and also send it to the portal. But it just asking the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment to get back within 45 days basically means you're going to hear a lot of double talk and you're going to hear a lot of redundancy. You know, like what just like that, double talk and redundancy. That's exactly what I'm talking about. They're just going to spin us around in circles. They're not going to get anything done. I hate to say it, but that's just the nature of the done. They just don't really, pardon the pun, do anything. So I would like to see another agency come in, maybe even the city attorney. I don't know, and kind of I wouldn't say audit to the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment, but work in association with them to make sure things get done correctly. But I just don't think anything's really going to happen. I think this is just a lot of lip service for us to placate us and make us forget anything that ever happened. It was a big screw up on Dunn. There was that whistleblower, and we haven't heard much about it since. And I suspect the same is going to hold true with this. Thank you.
Thanks. And keep in mind, we always want to send it to the portal because otherwise it has no chance of being attached to the council file. So them fixing it so it is attached to the council file needs to happen. And plus, we always send it to a large number of other people, including usually both our council members and others and their staff. So go ahead, Scott.
Thank you. This was discussed in great detail at a couple of VANC meetings. I'm sure Richard as well heard the discussion. And I think we have one of our neighborhood councils, Reseda, to thank for actually uncovering this and bringing this originally to Councilmember Rahman's office, who put forth the motion. So because of her support, I think it's good for us to support it. And I'm fairly certain she's going to follow up based on the way she wrote her motion stressing the importance of us, of neighborhood councils. So I think this is a really good thing to support, and we can hold the 45-day clock and contact CD4 again and say, you know, what's up with Dunn? They haven't done anything. It's pretty stunning how it went on for so long. I agree with Brandon. We should also include the commissions and the council members directly, but also make sure we use the portals. So that's all I have to say. I support this wholeheartedly.
Thank you. Go ahead, Jeff.
Just a question, when you send something to the portal or to the other, or to the member, et cetera, does the portal send you back a receipt, or is it just, you figure it went in?
Well, the way you know they've received it for me, I don't, Jeff, our corresponding secretary, sends it, so we would have to ask him. But the way I know is I go to the council file and I can see that our community impact statement has been submitted. So as soon as they get it, theoretically, it gets put on the council file and you can see it. Although we have had a couple of instances where something hasn't been there, and there are different reasons for that, but I don't know if it was because of this screw up. But we have, you know, at least for government affairs and transportation, I've been checking to make sure they're there once I know Jeff has sent them. So,
Okay. Thank you.
all right. I'll go briefly back to public comment and let 2023 speak.
Yes. Sorry I'm so late. I've been putting Kevin McCarthy's ass on a roaster and I've been broiling it extra crispy. What the hell did he do to you? Well, he's an asshole. That's what he did. Yes.
Did
So,
he get the speakership today?
no, human. 5 votes and he lost.
Okay, let's stick to the motion.
Oh,
We really
6
could care
votes
less
and he
about
lost.
Kevin McCarthy.
No, I moved to extend this meeting for half an hour so I could tell you what I saw today. And my congressman called me. Yes. So they adjourned at 5:90 Eastern time. So
All right,
they
thank
voted
you.
216.
Off
What?
topic.
No, it's not. It's about parliamentary procedure, human. We're operating.
All right.
Oh, we're going to operate under house rules tonight.
Yeah, we are.
That's right. So the vote is 216 to 214 to adjourn to 9 a.m. Eastern
Okay.
time. So
We're
ordered.
going to vote on number 9. All in favor, raise your hands. Yes.
Yes.
Or say yes. I'm a yes.
Yeah,
Thank you. We are unanimous. Thank you. Moving on to number 10, discussion and possible motion, community impact statement with respect to Council File 21-1244 for the city to find strategies to prevent large tech and private equity firms from engaging in speculative practices that involve purchasing affordable, predominantly single-family housing. And let me read you a proposed motion I have for number 10. The board of the Studio City Neighborhood Council, SCNC, supports Council File 22-1244 to instruct the city attorney and legislative analysts to find strategies to prevent large tech companies and private equity firms from engaging in speculative real estate practices. The housing crisis has been exacerbated by high-tech companies such as Zillow, Open Door, Rocket Homes, and Redfin, as well as private equity firms targeting affordable single-family homes, and they compete to buy up as much inventory as possible. Neighborhoods are being decimated and opportunities for home buying by working families and first-time home buyers are virtually non-existent. This trend systematically increases the pricing of single-family homes in a real estate market that is already experiencing skyrocketing housing prices. The prospect of owning a home in Los Angeles is quickly becoming impossible for the vast majority of Angelenos who have lived in their neighborhoods for decades and are unable to compete with these buyers. This has led to many longtime residents being priced out of the very communities they were raised in. Neighborhoods need to be conserved and strategies need to be examined. This motion is also submitted as a community impact statement, CIS, to CF 22-1244. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Rick, thank you. Any public comments? Please raise your hand or press *9. Go ahead, Peter.
No, not
Hey
yet.
there.
Ow!
This is another one that I think you should steer clear of. I mean, you might as well add, since you're naming all these large companies, why don't you add that any company, high-tech company that also should disclose if they are members of the NRA? I mean, come on. Is this an invitation to get sued? Why don't you put my name on there too? Where does it stop? I can give you reasons why housing's unaffordable. How about the DWP? People trying to pay their electric bills, their gas bills, property tax, on and on and on. So this is smoke and mirrors. Hold the mirror up, blame it on somebody else. I say shoot this one down. Thanks.
Thanks. Go ahead, 2023.
Well, of course it's a bad idea. The rich have to get richer in this country. That's in the Constitution. Read it carefully on the footnote to the First Amendment. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of theft. You have to read it carefully. That's what the country was built on. That's what we do. First, we stole the Indian land. Then we took the slaves. Then we promised them an acre and a land of acre and a mule. Then we fucked them out of that. Then we made separate bathrooms for blacks and whites. Then we stopped it. Then we gave the beach back to the family. Now they're going to take $20 million when it's worth $65 million from the county. That's what people do in this country. We steal from the poor and give to the rich. That's what we do here. And everybody knows it, especially Brandon. However, somebody here on this panel received a secret email that reveals a scandal of epic proportions. And soon enough, you will learn the truth about our country, starting with our Congress. But Goat Puppet will be here for you. Yes, he'll be here as Nithya Ramen Noodle continues to lie to you and try to steam you. Ask yourself, how come Goat Puppet got all the lights turned on under Ventura Boulevard and the 405 and the 101 at Woodman? What did he do? How come she's so nice to Goat Puppet? She likes the puppet.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
But she hates you. Remember that. But you like
Thank
them.
you, Goat
Oh, I
Puppet.
like these people. Yeah, they're nice.
Thank you. Go ahead. Any other members of the public? Seeing none, hearing none. Go ahead, Richard.
Yeah, I'm not saying really opposed to the whole concept here, but any ordinance of this nature is going to stop a homeowner from getting the highest and best price. These corporations, they lose and they can't buy the next house.
And let me remind everyone, this motion says to find strategies to prevent. It doesn't mean they'll actually find any that they could actually legally use. But in my mind, it would be interesting to know. I don't know that there is. Go ahead, Brandon.
I agree with just about everything I've been hearing, including from the artist formerly known as Goat Puppet.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Yes, of course. Yeah, it doesn't bother me one bit that this wasn't written by Nuri Martinez, right? But I agree. I mean, where does this go? Yes, the corporations do come in and they buy up homes. I mean, you saw a bunch of homes for sale at the beginning of the pandemic, and then suddenly one day, all those for sale signs are gone. They came in there and just lapped them up. But there's more going on to the increasing cost of homes here in Los Angeles than that. And a lot of it has to do with taxes, rules, regulations, things like that. Just a lot of it, there's a lot going into the price of a new home or a home than this. And this gives the impression that it's only because of the corporations who are trying to fatten up their portfolios. It's not. There's a lot going on, far more than that. This is an issue, and it would be interesting to see what they do with it, what they find, but I don't like the way this is written. It just seems like it's the company's fault and that's it. No, there's way more going on in this. So I might still vote for it because it's only a report. It's not going to be a final legislation, but I think they are trying to sweep a lot of other problems under the rug and say, don't pay attention to those, only pay attention to this. Not a big fan of that.
Go ahead, Scott.
Thank you. I made some notes on the motion, and first of all, not your motion, the council file. And they're talking about affordable single-family homes. There are no affordable, if using their definition of affordable, it does not exist in the city of Los Angeles. There are no affordable single-family homes. So I don't know what it is they're even targeting here, because there's no such thing. About flipping.
Well, it's all relative in LA.
Sure. Well, according to what we've heard in many other council motions, there is no such thing as affordable housing. They want to build it. It does not exist. They're talking about flipping homes. People flip homes, whether it's Zillow or individuals or people who band together and form LLCs. Flipping houses has been going on since houses has been for sale. It makes no mention of the fact that some of these corporations buy houses that are in just terrible condition. They modernize them, they add an ADU, they bring a lot more value to the community, and then they resell it for a higher price because they're reselling something that is far superior than what it was that they bought, because they do have deeper pockets. I'm going to be selling at some point in the near future, and I sure as hell hope that there are deep pocket equity firms out there to bid up my house. So, I mean, and it also mentions that long-time residents are being pushed out of their homes because of this. Who's being pushed out of their home by the purchase of a house that's for sale? It's a house for sale. It's so poorly written, and she's no longer a council member. And I mean, again, I've said before, I'm usually supportive of report backs. I'd like to find out what they discover, but this is again parody. It's a caricature. It's Poe's law. It's said with a wink that they're not serious. So anyway, that's all I got.
Thank you. No more committee members. I
got a really quick question.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be the dumbest question you've ever heard in your life, but I'm going to ask it anyways, and I don't care if I'm reamed for it. This was moved by Nuri Martinez, obviously with the seating of the new council and Nuri Martinez resigning before the seating of the new council. Does this have to be represented with a new? No, it's still enforceable. Okay.
And if you look at the council file, every council file has an expiration date, but it's a time from when it was introduced. It has nothing to do with anybody's terms or anybody that resigned or anything.
Do the real
yes,
estate
Rick.
investment trusts like this?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. What'd you say, Richard?
I'm just thinking that, on the real estate investment trust, that REITs, that like this idea. Probably not.
Go ahead, Rick.
I just want to tell a quick story. I have no idea if it's true, but I prefer to believe that it's true. That in '94, when all the houses got red tagged after the quake, they were bought with semi-dirty money from the porn companies back before porn became do-it-yourself. And then they just shot in the houses, because they didn't care if you could live in them. They just needed cheap sets. And then they eventually, flipped them and sold them and, laundered their porn money.
All right, thank you. So go ahead, Jeff.
I was just gonna say that's free enterprise. That's a joke, okay, guys? All right.
Thanks. Yes, Rick.
No, sorry, I meant to lower.
Okay. So, and Jeff, did you have something else?
I meant to lower it too,
Okay.
like that joke.
So, many members, I am willing to withdraw this for two reasons. One, even if we pass it, our board is going to debate this for an hour and a half. I just know it. And I'm telling you now, the council is going to pass this without a doubt. So our little tiny motion is going to be meaningless anyway. And I'm still going to get my wish to find out what these strategies even could be. That's all I want to know. If there's even anything legally that can be done. So I'm going to get my wish anyway. So I'm hereby going to withdraw it. I don't think there's any objection. Unless I hear an objection to that, I will do so. Does anyone have a comment regarding that?
I just have a quick comment. When they talk about strategies, legal strategies, this is a huge project. This could take it's a big project for lawyers to do. And I should add that I'm not speaking as a lawyer because I've recently gone inactive in California. Okay, so you can forget about whether I'm a lawyer or not. I am, but not here. But the point is, it's a huge project, and I think you're right about the board. I'd say 2 hours, and so it's. But it sounds good, but it's just probably, and there are all sorts of other issues to it, So how do you stop a legitimate company from buying something legitimately? But anyway.
Thank you.
If I may add one thing, that includes
Yeah.
the nonprofit housing companies buying up houses too. So it's not just the big bad corporations, it is sometimes the good corporations.
Good point.
And since I am withdrawing and have heard no objection, I will reopen public comment and let 2023 speak one more time.
Well, go ahead. Yes, a good idea. Don't be a communist. Be in favor of the constitutional theft from the poor to the rich. After all, when you give the poor money, look what they do. Holy shit. Huntington Beach. They're giving a beach away for $20 million when it's worth $65 million. No, the wealth has to be in charge of the wealthy. That's why they're called the wealthy. The poor are in charge of nothing. That's why they're called the poor. Damn, I never thought of that. Yes, that's right. That's why people in this country are in a certain situation they're in. Let's not help them. Let's help them move on. Let's amend the motion that everybody with a net worth of under 20,000 be deported to Mexico with a $500 Visa prepaid gift card. Second. Any discussion?
Thank you.
The motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you, 2023. Going on to Melanie Winter. Go ahead.
Hey, since we're going off topic, I was too late to come in for item 7, and I wondered if somebody might just shoot me the what was passed on that, so I can look at it in advance of the meeting.
Do you want me to read it?
Sure.
The board of the Studio City Neighborhood Council, SCNC, opposes Council File 22-1566 for the City Planning Department in consultation with the City Attorney and other departments as appropriate to report to the City Council within 60 days on the benefits of adopting a climate action and adaptation plan into the city's general plan, because this issue is far larger than the city of Los Angeles. So that was the motion we passed, and the reason being
Wow.
that we feel the city of Los Angeles has a lot of things they ought to be addressing, and this is far more. This really is something statewide, countrywide, or worldwide, but not the little city of LA, particularly if
Little?
all the cities surrounding LA don't go along with it. You know, we can be 100% green, and then all your cities like Bell Gardens and Culver City and all the other ones, if they don't go along with it, we still got the problem in Los Angeles County.
So just quick question.
Yeah, that was the reason.
Sorry, 2 quick questions. Was that a unanimous vote?
Yeah.
Wow. Staggering. And does everyone here understand what climate adaptation means?
Yeah, they all had the.
If you
council
understand
file,
what climate adaptation means, which is different than mitigation,
Mr. Chairman, we don't,
I don't understand. I'm really sorry I missed the
Yeah.
discussion, because you can't adapt
Yeah.
somewhere else.
right.
Things you do to
Thank you.
adapt, you do
But
locally.
we had a
And you
lengthy
want
discussion.
Los Angeles to decide what Los Angeles should do to adapt. You don't want DC telling Los Angeles what to do to adapt, right? I'm
Well,
gobsmacked.
actually, what
Thanks.
we want is the people voting what we want. So, yeah,
People voted.
but
Cool.
like a statewide initiative, for
So you want
example.
Sacramento to tell Los Angeles, but you push back every time Sacramento does that.
No, we don't want Sacramento. We want the people of California deciding.
So perhaps a climate assembly, a citizens assembly is the only way you're going to get the people to decide. But you shouldn't, I don't
Right.
understand pushing back
But that's
against an
larger.
adaptation
That's
plan.
larger than the city of Los Angeles. That's the gist.
No,
of
no,
our
no.
motion.
Los Angeles should plan for what Los Angeles needs to do to adapt. It's different than mitigation. It's very different
I
to
get.
mitigation.
All right. I suggest you hold.
And this should
everything
have
out
been,
for
this
public
should have
comment
been
at the
done.
board meeting.
That's cool. This should have been done in consultation with sustainability. So I object to this passing through this committee
I
alone
think
and
that you
without a
should state it.
discussion with sustainability.
You guys are more than welcome to have it at your next committee meeting.
Right. So then we have 2 motions out of 2 committees that are going to be completely contradictory. And what then?
That happens
Well,
in legislation.
That happens, and
Happens.
the board will decide.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Go ahead, Rick.
I just wanted to say that the consensus during the discussion was that, everybody is in favor of addressing climate change at some level, but that this was a very badly written and badly thought through bill from the council member.
I will disagree. This is what I do for a living. I will disagree. It's a very simple thing, and putting it in the general plan is where it belongs.
Yes, Jeff.
I would like to suggest that we close this discussion, that we move on to the next agenda thing. There was plenty of time. The thing was debated for quite a while. A vote was duly taken and recorded, and it will come to the board, at which time everybody in the world that has can come and make their comments. And I would move that, I would suggest with all due respect that we move on and conclude the meeting.
And so we move on to agenda item 11, comments from the committee members on subject matter within the committee's jurisdiction. Do we have any committee members that wish to speak on number 11? Not seeing any committee members. Go ahead, 2023, you have 1 minute.
Yes, but I think you should defer to your colleague and reopen that item so that she can discuss it. Because after all, she sounds rather angry about it. And we don't want our board members to be angry, do we? No. And that's what I do. That's what Goat Puppet does. I bring people together. I'm a coalition builder. You should be speaker. Yes, imagine me as the speaker.
Well, for your information, you
Yeah.
could be elected speaker since you don't have to be a member of the House to be the speaker.
How
But
about that?
I move that we go on to the next item and then
Yeah.
adjourn the meeting.
Yes.
Thank you. All
You-
right,
Do you second that?
Number
Yes, I
12.
agree.
closing comments by the committee chair. Just to mention, our motions will be voted on by the board 2 weeks from tonight, 7 p.m. meeting. And our next meeting will be Wednesday, February 1st at 6 p.m. Number 13, adjournment. I will move to adjourn. Do I have a second?
You do.
Second first from Jeff.
No.
All right, all in
Give it-
favor,
give it
raise your
to you.
hand. Yes,
Oh,
say yes. I'm a yes. We
Yeah.
are unanimous.
I'm a yay.
Thank you. We are
no.
adjourned at 7:02. Thank you all for
Very-
adjourning,
Thank you for your
attending.
patience and moving it along.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, everyone. All right, good night.
Good night and good luck.
Bye.